Today, 65% of American adults and nearly all teenagers play video games. Games look ever more real.
It's difficult to identify games that have been explicitly banned on Steam, since we'll never see them because Steam won't put them in the catalog in the first place. Today, however, we will showcase the top 10 games that have been removed or banned from Steam. Number 10. Paranautical Activity. Paranautical Activity is a first-person roguelike shooter in which you are dropped into a randomly generated room and must kill everything that moves while collecting power-ups to help you survive the next randomly generated area. With a Minecraft-like look and a diverse art system, Paranautical Activity will put your talents to the test, but you'll wind up furious due to the cheap deaths thrown at you. This game and its developer, Code Avarice, are examples of those with inflated egos and little regard for others because they are at the top of the social ladder. When Paranautical Activity was released, Valve incorrectly labeled it as early access, and one of Code Avarice's developers claimed Valve was slow to fix the problem. What is the next logical step? Why not whine on Twitter, insult Steam, and threaten to kill Steam's co-founder, Gabe Newell? Valve later removed Paranautical Activity from Steam's catalog and severed ties with Code Avarice. Paranautical Activity has been re-released on Steam as Paranautical Activity Deluxe Atonement Edition, and the game was accepted by Valve because Code Avarice sold the game's rights to Didrati distribution. Let's be clear about this. Valve banned the game due to the developer's immature outbursts and threats to end Gabe Newell's life on Twitter. But because Paranautical Activity is no longer owned by the said developer, it was re-released on Steam. That's a good thing, because the game would never have seen the light of day if it had stayed with Code Avarice. And really, was it that difficult to fix the problem with a single phone call or email to Valve? Wait it out and call it a day. Number 9. Ragged Hell. Retribution. Ragged Hell. Retribution is a third-person action brawler and shooter starring a badass biker dude out for vengeance. It is widely regarded as one of the worst games ever made. The game that went through hell in development, resulting in poor planning, bad writing, broken gameplay, ugly graphics. It's offensive, and it's riddled with bugs. The series was supposed to have 2 more sequels, but they were canceled due to poor reviews and sales. The game remained in Steam's library for about a year, with a few sales possibly because one popular gaming critic encouraged everyone to try out this mess of a game before being mysteriously removed. The exact reason for its removal is unknown, but popular speculation suggested that Ride to Hell was so bad that it did not meet Steam's quality standards. Or was it removed because of the game's treatment of women? But given Valve's apathy toward quality control and policing awful games that reuse assets, it's safe to assume Ride to Hell. Retribution was removed for reasons other than poor quality. Unfortunately, this is likely to be a mystery that we will carry with us to our graves. Number 8. Spec Ops: The Line. You play as Captain Walker of the U.S. military's 3-man Delta Force sent in to conduct reconnaissance inside the ruined city, find survivors, and get the hell out. The United Arab Emirates is very strict when it comes to allowing games into their country. A game that contains violence, nudity, gore, or anything related to the UAE is likely to be banned. Many high-profile games, such as the Grand Theft Auto series, the God of War series, and even Japanese games notorious for sexually suggestive content, were also banned. But these games either had their ban lifted after minor changes, or the ban did not extend to digital distribution platforms such as Steam. Spec Ops: The Line is the only high-profile game that is permanently banned in the UAE in both physical and digital versions. But why is this the case? A game depicting violence and gameplay involving killing US soldiers and Emirates in a ruined Dubai, implying the UAE government's incompetence, did not sit well with the censorship board. The UAE even goes so far as to block the game's official website, have the game banned in neighboring countries, and make it impossible to obtain a copy. That's a shame, because Spec Ops: The Line is a well-made game with a compelling stories that makes you question our existence as humans. Number 7. Art of Stealth. Art of Stealth is another game made up of Unity Store assets that appear to be a stealth game, except you shoot at enemies like Rambo or something like that. The game itself received a few fans and a slew of negative reviews, and due to Steam's poor moderation, Art of Stealth was not targeted for removal or ban because it contains offensive content. Art of Stealth was removed after developer Matt Cohen was caught tampering with his game's review rating by posting positive reviews on multiple Steam accounts. This desperate act violates Steam's review policy, and Art of Stealth is no longer available on Steam. Yes, that did happen. Number 6. Wild Buster. Heroes of Titan. Wild Busters. Heroes of Titan was also removed from Steam because game publisher Incel Games manipulated the Steam reviews by instructing its staff and colleagues to buy the game and post positive reviews in order to encourage sales, and failure to do so could result in job loss. This is unfortunate because Wild Busters is a real game that was made with care. If you like hack and slash games with MMO elements, this could be the game for you. Number 5. Manhunt. Because of its graphic violence involving torture and killing your fellow man with a variety of weapons, ranging from baseball bats to bladed objects, Manhunt has become legendary and is likely synonymous with anything relating to game bans and censorship. Manhunt was a popular target in Australia because your score is based on violence, whereas other games, such as Grand Theft Auto, do not reward you for murdering police officers or civilians. Manhunt, on the other hand, is literally and technically banned everywhere because the bloody game is incompatible with any modern operating system beginning with Windows Vista. Number 4. Postal 2. You are the postal dude, just a regular guy doing chores like buying milk, paying fines, or picking up something from a neighbor. The level of violence in Postal 2 is comparable to that of Manhunt, but the difference is that violence is almost always optional. As previously stated, Postal 2 allows players to choose how they handle situations, but the game also allows you to go full psychopath with the tools available. Kill gay rednecks, Arabs, black people, religious people, and anyone else you can think of. Everyone is on the table. Postal 2 was unfortunately banned in New Zealand due to its offensive writing, revolting imagery, brutal gameplay, and extreme political incorrectness. Even owning the game in New Zealand after purchasing a Steam code online will result in a fine and imprisonment. Number 3. Grand Theft Auto 4. It is true that video games are not the primary source of violence among children. If that were the case, tens of millions of GTA game players would have committed mass murder by now. A troubled adolescent stabbed a taxi driver to death because he needed the money to buy more video games, specifically Grand Theft Auto 4. The adolescent claimed that Grand Theft Auto inspired him to commit murder, claiming that killing seemed easy in the game. Maidens of Michael. The title was removed after a Steam user reported to Steam support that Maidens of Michael contains sexual content involving young girls. In terms of the game itself, the all-ages version of Maidens of Michael had all sex scenes, imagery, and dialogue removed prior to release, ensuring that there was no violation of Steam's terms of service. Fans of the series and fans of visual novels in general pointed fingers at Steam's inability to handle the situation. Was Maidens of Michael taken down because of its sexual content? Is it that, or is it something else? We'll never know for sure. Number 1. The Slaughtering Grounds. This began when YouTube critic Jim Sterling made a video harshly criticizing Slaughtering Grounds for its slapdash, unaltered game assets taken from a store by the developer. Digital homicide. Broken gameplay because the devs crammed random things and didn't code them properly. Everything else you can think of. It was soon discovered that Digital Homicide's founder/owner managed several game publishing companies in order to sell more games on Steam. Gamers were fed up with the influx of fake games on Steam, so they vented their rage in their reviews, even threatening to kill the devs. It's time to end our video, but before that, do you have any other favorite game that got banned? Comment below. Consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.